Donnie and Dolly. The team is supported by ableauctions.ca. Closing your business? We can help.
Able Auctions, ableauctions.ca, our title sponsor, Able Auctions, in charge of bringing you each guest today.
Yes.
On this Wednesday. A lot of people making the point that I guess yesterday I promised that I was going to ask Craig Button about Josh Bloom, and I didn't. So next week, remind me.
Josh
Ryan,
Bloom.
I'll ask Craig Button, TSN Scouting Director, about Josh Bloom. Ed Jovanovski is going to join us. Now, I was looking at the Canucks all-time leaders in points, and Ed Jovanovski, 37th overall. All the hundreds of players have played for the Canucks.
That's pretty good.
That underrated West Coast Express era. 37th overall, 8th among defensemen. Pretty impressive.
Very impressive.
Former Canucks defenseman, Panthers defenseman, Coyotes defenseman. Ed now works as a Florida Panthers analyst, and he joins us now. Jovo, thanks for doing this, sir. How are you?
Hey guys, I'm well.
That's
you
good.
Guys, everything good?
Very well. I love that golf shirt, man.
Oh.
Where can I get one of those? That Florida light blue look is outstanding.
Yeah, they brought this one out. I think it was the All-Star game weekend.
Yeah.
It's actually a quarter zip.
A quarter zip. Oh, okay.
But we can get you a golf shirt. I'm sure they made some golf shirts in this color too.
Yeah.
Very nice.
Well, you're pulling it off. What can you tell us about Panthers fever in your part of the world right now?
Well, it's alive and well. I think these handful of days leading up to Saturday are going to be filled with angst. Listen, the town has been behind this team. It's been a fun season. They've had an excellent playoff run. It wasn't easy. Some tough battles through Tampa, Boston, and the Rangers. And here we go. We find ourselves back to back in the Stanley Cup Final. And it's breaking news. I can hear my phone go.
It's somebody who wants one of those shirts, Ed.
Right.
Hey, right. What are the kids?
It's really exciting. It's been really exciting around here, that's for sure.
Okay, Paul Maurice, the team is so scrappy, it's so talented, it's got that playoff experience. I've listed off a few here, but what are the keys to the Panthers' success this season, Ed?
Well, I think it's been, the consistency throughout the year is made them kind of be that same team. You're not going to get from a night-to-night basis. You're not going to see much, different of a team. What are the characteristics that are successful? The way this team forechecks. They've always been a line rush team. They always led the league in chances off the rush. We know things tighten up as the season goes along. So, you start dumping the puck and you have two guys in hard all the time and you're creating turnovers and they have that sustained offensive pressure. They bring it from the back end. Their back end with Montour, Forsling, Ekblad, Kulikov's had a rejuvenation. Mikkel is a big body out there. He's not afraid to be up in the play. And obviously how deep this team is up the middle. Leading with Barkov and you got Bennett. The top guys there are very tough to go through. Kind of with Lundell in your third spot, and Stenlund as your fourth. I mean, it's pretty big group, and they seem to have that chemistry where if it's not one line, it's the next line. If it's not that line, it's the other line frustrating you. They come at you at waves, and they've kind of sustained that throughout the year in the playoffs.
He had Paul Maurice, the way he was raving about Gustav Forsling, unbelievable about a week ago, calling him one of the best defensemen in the world. What do you think about this guy, Forsling? And, he was a Canucks draft pick, and they got rid of him real quick, Ed, but he looks like a late bloomer, and he's figured it out.
Yeah, who was the GM at that point?
That was Jim Benning.
Jim Benning.
All right. Good move, Jimmy. Listen, sometimes these guys get away, right? Listen, he goes to Chicago.
Yeah, Carolina.
Carolina too, yeah.
You just never know. I was just kind of joking with Jim Benning. They're a pretty good job. But sometimes these guys get away and they kind of reinvent themselves. And you look where Goose has come. He's come over here and he had the opportunity, just ran with it. He never looked back. And I said it on the broadcast. I've even said that this guy, I didn't go 5 or 10, I went 7. Top 7 D-man in the league. And I was saying that right from the get-go of this year, just the way that this guy has played. He's a Nick Lidstrom in the fact that he's never out of position. He moves the puck extremely well. He doesn't make his job overly hard because he's letting the puck do the work. He's great anticipating on the D side of things and the offensive side of things. He kills penalties. He's a minute muncher. He plays against top lines. There's nothing this guy can't do. I think his confidence is obviously, feeling really good, but he's just a humble kid. Just kind of goes out there, does his work, doesn't look for the recognition, and that's why you love a player like that.
Ed, look at this. Barkov, Reinhart, Bennett, Kachuk. We all know the stars. But this Verhaeghe guy, 9-game winners in the playoffs, 5 in overtime. This guy, when it comes to the playoffs, he's unbelievable.
Yeah, Mr. Clutch.
Yep.
He always seems to get, his feet aren't always moving. And he's always a dangerous threat out there. His engine doesn't stop. And you know that his biggest asset is his shot. I mean, he's got an unbelievable shot that can beat the goaltender from anywhere. He doesn't take him very long to kind of get that release. And he's got that nose for the puck, man. He's dogged pressure all the time. His feet, like I said, don't stop moving. He's great on the forecheck, and his work ethic is there. Here's another guy coming from the Tampa system, been a part of a Stanley Cup team, but really didn't play. So you get the opportunity, you bring him over here, and he made the best of it, that's for sure.
Hey, you mentioned all those defensemen. One player you didn't mention there, Ed, former Canuck Oliver Ekman-Larsson, and I think a lot of people watch him with the Panthers and this Vancouver people, and they say, where the heck was that the last couple of seasons? How has he fit in?
Well, I think sometimes Vancouver wants a little bit more than maybe someone can handle. And, I was just actually had a great conversation with Ben Kuzma, good old buddy of mine, and it came up with OEL. I think when you come into this situation, just kind of a piece of the puzzle, for OEL. Wasn't expected to come in here, and change the back end. He's just one of those guys. And this year, what I've noticed with him, and same thing like Forsling, and it's a lot. And for defensemen, it could be a little bit longer to learn that. Once you get it, I think it really works. Is less is more. And I think that's what OEL has found out is let the puck do the work, jump up when you can, play solid defensively. And I think what helps them in this system, they're so disciplined and so layered in the defensive zone that if OEL does get beat in the right corner, he knows that probably the chances of the guy getting to net are pretty slim because the other guy is there and the top forward is sinking down. Usually Barkov picking up, the slack for those areas. But I think this system has really helped OEL. And you're playing in a market where you're not grilled each and every day. Yep. And I think that's helped them.
You mentioned Alexander Barkov there, Ed. And of course, we don't see a lot of him out here in Vancouver. There's a subtlety to his game. He's considered one of the best players in the world right now. What does he mean to that team? What does he do well?
Probably everything, Donnie. Yeah. I mean, it's no secret that we all talk about his 200-foot game, the way he cares about his defensive zone and being that centerman, being that guy low all the time and starting to play from the hash marks coming out or on a back check, breaking up a play. And he can do it offensively. I think there's not one thing in his game that is weak. He's a big body, controls the puck well along the boards. He takes key face-offs, plays in every situation. You like to see him shoot more because he's got a tremendous wrist shot, but he always is that kind of that unselfish player. You like to dish the puck in some areas where I'm sure the coaching staff is, listen, if you have an opportunity, let it go. But just a humble guy too, not your raw type leader. But leads by example each and every night. If your captain is going out there banging bodies, who's not known to be a big physical guy, but has been doing it in the playoffs, you better follow suit.
Hey, Ed, how do the Panthers, and what happens in this series, and how do the Panthers go about stopping McDavid?
Well, you got Barkov and Forsling at home. You really can control that matchup. I think with the old cliche, I mean, it's true though. You have to try to limit, him getting the puck and winding up from his own zone and having all that room. You have to do a good job in the middle of the ice, in the neutral zone, and try to slow that down. And then when you're in there in the defensive zone, if you can, hit and pin them and hold them in those certain areas, I think that's an area. Listen, he's an elite player. Yeah. He's going to get those opportunities. You just like to, contain him as best as you can. I think they have the personnel, to do that. And I'm looking forward. That's one of the biggest things I'm really looking forward to this, to see how that matchup's going to play out, in these playoffs. And you got elite players going on each other. Obviously, Draisaitl. You look at the Florida side too. How is Edmonton going to contain our top 6 players? And then you kind of go in your third area, you look at Lundell, Luosterainen, and Tarasenko being in your third group. I think that line probably will have a big impact on this series.
Outstanding. If people in Vancouver love hearing from you, my friend.
Yes.
This has been so good. We can't thank you enough. You look great.
All right, guys.
You bet.
Anytime. I hope the weather's nice for you up there.
Well, today's nice. Let's just say that.
It rained all weekend. It rained all weekend, Ed.
Trying to rub it in here.
No. Listen, this time of year in Vancouver, man, I miss it.
Yeah.
It's so nice.
Yeah.
It's only 102. It's only 102 here.
Okay.
All right. Stop. Get him off. Get him off.
Time out.
Get him off. Get him off.
I'm canceling my shirt order now.
Yep.
All right, guys.
Thanks, Jovo. Appreciate it. Outstanding.